was at my son's soccer game the other day, and this, you know, it's kind of a fancy looking, cool field, and this one other father comes up to me while we're just getting in and we're just sitting down. The kids are doing their thing, and this other dad comes up to me, and I'm eating spits because I love spits. Like we're gonna have to have. I think I'm gonna add a poll on this one for Spotify listeners to vote on your favorite spits. I'm really torn because like my classic favorite is cracked pepper. I love cracked pepper. But dill pickle's really good too, and also I really like the I think it's called sweet chili. Yeah. Oh, spits are just they're addicting. Like literally you can't have one. And I had some left over in my pantry, and I made the mistake of cracking that bad boy open. So I ended up eating like the whole bag, and then I'm like, well, I'm going to soccer. You got to have some spits. So we had more at the game. But anyways, this one extra dad comes up to me. He's like, you're not supposed to actually have spits on the field. I'm like, oh really? He's like, yeah, seeds get everywhere and like people trip on them. And I'm like, well, you. I looked at his kid deadly eyes. Looked at his son deadly eyes. I said, well, you were able to spread your seed, so why can't I spread mine? And the guy's it just walks away. I'm like, oh fuck. I'm like, I'm gonna be the awkward parent now, but I can't help it. I gotta go for the jokes. Oh, excuse me. I gotta go for the jokes if I see him. It's just too obvious. But seriously, like when we were kids, like I remember on my soccer games, fuck, there's a mountain of spits everywhere. Like, I mean, they're natural. Like the shells are biodegradable. Like they're literally natural shells. Like they're compostable and stuff. Why did I say compostable? Compostable. I said it almost like two words. I did the like the Theo Vaughn thing. That's awesome. But yeah, either way, you know what? I'm gonna go to soccer games and I'm gonna eat my fucking spits if I want because spits are delicious and your kid's not gonna break an ankle on my spits, especially with how goddamn windy it is on the prairies. For fuck's sakes. Anyways, whatever. Let's get into it, boys. Welcome everybody back to NRJB Board, episode number 73. We're back. I hope you guys enjoyed last week's episode. Had my buddy Corey on, and of course the Houster came back for a night, what we call a guest spot. But it was a good time. I really enjoyed talking to them, and it's been so long since we've actually uh well the Houster I've talked to a lot, but like it's been a while since I actually sat down and talked to Corey. And if anybody's like, it's funny because I try to use people's like their online names in this podcast because I don't want to like dox people or anything like that. So, you know, because most of us are, I don't want to spoil it for you. We're not rich, just bored. Like nobody on here has been uber famous, like Brad Pitt or something. If it was Brad Pitt, they're like, yeah, we know Brad Pitt. It doesn't matter if you say his name because he's got like 17 people that will kill you for looking at him wrong. So, but for smaller people and smaller creators, I like to just kind of it's good to protect their identity. So especially if the podcast blows up one day, because I always treat it that way. I'm like, I don't know if it will. It might. Who knows? But I always treat it as if it will, because you just got to future proof that. Because there's so many times where people will say something or do something on a podcast, when they have 10 viewers, and then down the line they have millions of people listening or thousands even, and then it'll be like, they gave away their home address in like episode 2 or something. It's like, oh, you fucking idiot. Like, so I try to avoid that. But like Wishbone Douglas was always his like when I played Xbox with him and stuff like that, and PlayStation, and even Steam these days, like that's always been his like username. So I was like, well, I'll just use it. And, like, I can use people's first names, it's fine. But I've always kind of kept like the Houster and Ryan, and then Wishbone Doug is Corey, and it's just yeah, it's kind of cool. There are some people that I do want to get on the podcast. There's a couple of people I may or may not have on the back burner. I don't want to spoil anything. That I'm putting out feelers. That's what I'm doing. I'm putting out feelers to see who wants to kind of come on and who's willing to come on. And it's funny when I ask people to come on. It's always like the first thing they kind of say is like, "Well, what are we going to talk about?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't really always have a plan. There's times where there is like a plan or a set schedule, but usually it's just kind of winging it. I just want to talk to you. I just want to have a conversation. And obviously, if it's something that they're involved with, like, if say somebody's a medium, obviously I want to talk to you about a medium too. I want to be like, oh, can you really talk to dead people, or is that just bullshit? Like stuff like that. So it's, I don't know. There's so many podcasts I feel where it's just it's more of an interview. And I don't get me wrong, I do like saying those kind of interview style questions sometimes, but more or less I just kind of want to talk to people, just chill. Like I don't have like I don't have a fucking piece of paper with questions on it or anything like that. I just kind of talk, and then whatever bullshit comes out of my mouth is what happens. I do apologize to anybody listening this week. It's going to be a double-edged sword because I just got a new mic. I got the Wave 3. I hope it sounds better. I think it's like, I don't know, it's decent. It's a USB one, but I finally got, anybody who watches the live streams will see it. And I might add a webcam to the video version of the podcast in the near future. I'm still working that out. But it has it has an arm that came with it, like one of those articulating arms, and it's just nice. Like I can get it like right now. It's like right up close to my face. I'm talking right into it, and then I have it. I usually I'm keeping it. If the audio is a little fucked, I'm sorry. I'm getting used to this new mic. It's I'm trying to keep it a fist away from my face because it's much more sensitive than the old one. But it's the Elgato Wave 3, and and it's got software that runs in the background that helps the audio, like for noise canceling and stuff like that. Because otherwise, these microphones, they'll pick up everything, like the sound like with no filters on. It's picking up my keyboard strokes. It's picking up the fan on my computer, because my computer is unfortunately quite loud. It's just that it's got a really shitty cooler on it. It's got the standard AMD Wraith cooler, and it's set to high speed mode all the time, because otherwise when I play high end video games, it'll just crash. So I have to keep it on like full throttle all day, every day. But yeah, the mic would pick up everything, but with the noise canceling, it helps out a little bit. You'll hear if I'm clicking, like right now, I'll click, like you'll hear that probably in the recording. But the keyboard strokes, it actually kind of fades them out a little bit. Like I can't really hear them that much, and I can't hear the fan. But like I said, if I keep the filters off, if it's completely unfiltered, I could hear everything. All you hear is like a constant fan droning in the background, and it drives me nuts. And the reality of this podcast is that it's very low budget. Some would say I'm not rich, just bored. Is that funny? Yeah, that was funny. Did I wonder if this mic, I'm gonna have to check. I wonder if this mic actually caught my wheezing laugh. Like, excuse me. It hurts to wheeze. I'm overcoming some sort of a sickness right now. That's why I sound like, I was gonna say the new mic will probably sound great, but unfortunately I'll be all nasally because I'm stuffed up like, I don't know, homeless people doing meth or something. Like it's fucking crazy. I don't know. Um I'll finish my thought on the mic first and just say, like, I think it's a decent mic. I've been playing around with it. It came in today. I was happy that it came in just before I recorded the episode. Amazon 2-day shipping, baby. But I got all the extra software downloaded, and so NVIDIA has their own software that you could download as a plugin for the Wave 3. It has a plugin it's like noise cancellation, and it's an NVIDIA one. And I'm like, well, NVIDIA makes good shit, and they make the cool AI and the DLSS. Their noise canceling is gonna be pretty next level. but I download the plugin for them, and it's for my cards, for the 20 series card. Maybe the 40 series card is better because it's a separate SDK file, but I don't know. I don't know much. I haven't looked much into it yet. But on the 20 series though, it's not like this. The noise canceling is not very good. It's really good if you're not talking. If you're not talking, and before anybody says that, I jacked it up to 100. I put the noise cancellation to 100, which means, like, in their words, if it's like, they have visual pictures of what it does. So if it's at like 25, you might hear, the keyboard. It'll show like a picture of the keyboard, and like at 0 it shows your computer and everything, fans, stuff like that. But at 100 it's showing nothing. You should hear nothing but the mic. But the weird thing is, that's true. All you hear is nothing. But then when you talk, you can hear, like, I can hear my computer fan in the back while I'm talking. I'm like, well, that's no good. I don't fucking like that. It's so funny for how low budget the show is, and like how I don't have a huge fucking studio with XLR mics or anything. I just like, I'm such a stickler for quality. I hate bad audio quality. And I've just always been that way. Even when I did my YouTube videos back in the day, I always had to like get, and I was using like a Blue Yeti back in the day and shit like that. But even then, I would set up the gain so that turned out decent. Like, it would drive me fucking nuts when I'd watch like a YouTuber, not even a famous guy at the time. It would be a guy with like not super famous, but like not low out tier either. It'll be a guy with like, I don't know, 220K subs, and his mic fucking sounds like dog shit. It would drive me fucking nuts. And yes, it does go to show that it's not the quality of your mics that matters. It's the content, right? People didn't go there for the mic quality. People liked his content, which is fair enough. I totally get that. But like, it just like, but there's also a part of me that's like, motherfucker, you're making bank on YouTube. You can't buy like a like he could get a really good mic for $1,000. Like this Wave 3 was about, it set me back about 350 Canadian dollars. But that was with the mic was on sale, like 60% off. I can't remember. I think it was $200 for the mic. But then the thing was this little, I got the actual Elgato, uh what do you call it? The mic stand arm, like the boom arm, and it's actually Elgato branded, and it was like $115. I'm like, Jesus Christ. The stand almost costs more than the mic. It's wild, but it is really nice. I do like it. And it's got these little magnetic covers on it to hide the wire. Like for wire management, you just take the magnetic strip out. It's a magnetic strip of metal, put the cord in, and put the metal back over it, and there, cable management, awesome. But but I'm getting off track. But my point is, like, you'll see these famous, semi-famous YouTubers with hundreds of, thousands of subscribers, but they have like a mic from like the 40s. Meanwhile, like when I was doing YouTube, I had like 200 subs, and I had like 200 subscribers, and I just had like, at the time, it was like the best USB mic you could get, the Blue Yeti. I don't know. It's just one of those things. Sometimes people care about certain things. Now, I will say this, guys, that there's one mistake that a lot of people make, especially like people doing content creation. It's not as big of a deal anymore, honestly, because mostly everything's pretty good now. Like, has your average cell phone has better mic and everything quality than most of this stuff. Like, honestly. But back in the day, there was guys that would, they would overspend. They would have like a $10,000 computer. They'd have like an XLR system and an XLR mic, like these massive mics, and they would have insane noise canceling and everything, pop filter, all that stuff. And you know they would get it, and but their content was not good. Like, I think just you got to be more like I call it being a realist, but I guess you got to just be like self-aware to a degree. You gotta like what I do with this show. Like this show, I don't make money from this show. I don't make money from any of my YouTube stuff. But I just like, I want it to be good quality, but I'm not gonna go out and rent a studio and, like I said, buy XLR mics and like, get the $2,000, Shure mics that Joe Rogan would have or something like that, because it's just not within my budget. You got to be a realist. But if the content picks up and people enjoy the show, which I'm sure they do, because why not? I'm a fucking joy. Maybe it'll pick up, and then that's when you invest when things are starting to go better. But I've seen a lot of guys, and they'll just like, you know, they get like the best shit right off the bat, and then they're in debt, and then a lot of them quit. They'll fall off. Like it's funny they were talking about how there's like millions of podcasts, but most podcasts only last an average of like 5 episodes. Like they quit that quick because people get that dopamine rush of like starting it, and then they kind of just they trail off. And Stremick, if you're listening, that's not a shot at you and Ryan. I want another episode of How Do We Strem, and I want it now. Get that episode on the back burner. Get making it right now. Like, don't stop listening to this. Pause it. Pause your Spotify, pause your YouTube. Get the fuck to your computer. You take a little video chat with Ryan. You say, hey, bitch, we're recording a new episode right now because Cody said so. And Cody's word is gospel. Acknowledge me. But I'm just kidding, Strem. But I do actually I love when my friend I just love when my friends start projects in general. I love seeing people do things that they love and just do creative things. It's so fun. And like even Corey, who was on last week, his wife was talking about, wanting to start a podcast with him, and they were going to do like a formula. And I'm like, fucking do it. I tell everybody, I'm like, why not? Like, it doesn't take a whole lot of effort, especially these days, thanks to like Anchor, which Anchor is now owned by Spotify. And it's not called Anchor anymore. It's called Spotify for podcasters. But thanks to like I still call it Anchor because I'm OG. I'm OG. But like thanks to Anchor, it's like you just literally you create a podcast and then you fuck around with the RSS feed on there a little bit, and then you just publish an episode and it goes to wherever you have your RSS feed linked to. So it's like mine is linked to pretty much everywhere that I can except for Apple. Because Apple needed an Apple ID, which, okay, whatever, that's stupid, but I made an Apple ID. But then for the Apple ID, I think I've talked about this before too. They wanted a credit card. They wanted me to put a credit card on the account. And I said, no, fuck you guys. All right. I'm not putting my goddamn credit card on an Apple account that I will never use except for to link the RSS feed. And I'm probably losing a lot of listeners just from doing that, honestly. But like, I don't give a damn. You guys have Spotify and Apple and shit like that. You guys can figure out a way. YouTube is open source, baby. Okay, it's not open source, but it's free for everybody. That's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. Yeah, so that's what's good. That was a 20-minute intro about what's going on in my life, and it's funny because I was even saying that this is going to be like I I was saying that this was going to be a shorter episode because I'm just like I'm not feeling like shit, but I sound like crap, and oh my god, it's just been so busy. Life's been so busy lately, and just been running around like a chicken with my head cut off. That's what it seems like. And it's just like every weekend there's something going on or something else happening, and I'm not complaining. It's not always bad. Like a lot of times it's good. It's like, like disc golf. I'm in a league now, and I love doing that on Wednesdays. That's super fun. That's why this podcast will be up a little bit later than normal. I've already discussed that with you guys. The podcast will be later because of the disc golf league. But uh yeah, the only other thing I really had to talk about much this week was the Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I have played it a little bit. I actually bought it. I literally was in Walmart and I'm like, oh God. I'm like, I shouldn't, but whatever. I will. I'll get it. And then I ended up buying it, and I got home and I played. I haven't put a lot of time into it yet. I will say that because I've been still addicted to Stardew Valley. I love Stardew Valley. Jesus Christ, it's very addicting. But I haven't put much time into it, but I kind of fear like a lot of the things that I said in my preemptive arguments are just kind of true. I don't know what it is, and I'm sorry, guys. I'm really sorry for all you like hardcore Zelda fans, but like I don't know why, but I can't. Like when I was a kid playing Ocarina of Time, like I never owned Ocarina. I would always rent it. But like when I had it, I was so excited to get home from school, and all I wanted to do was play that fucking game. That's all I wanted to do was play that. I want to play a game all night. I was obsessed. And even like games like the Wind Waker on the GameCube when that came out, I was obsessed. I just wanted to go and play that goddamn game. I loved it so much. But now it's like I'm like maybe it's just like the magic is gone because I'm an adult now. I don't know what it is, but like I'm not drawn in the same way by Breath of the Wild. Like Breath of the Wild, I don't know what it is. It's just like the first one was, you know, to me it was kind of mediocre, to be honest. And then this Tears of the Kingdom, it seems better, and there's some cool mechanics. Like there's a mechanic where you can fuse your weapon with things. Like you can fuse your weapon with like a rock, and then if it's a sword and a rock, then you literally have a rock sword, like a sword with a boulder on the end of it, and it's goofy. It is goofy, but it's fun. It's fun. I will give it that. And then there's this whole like the biggest thing that people talk about is a creation thing where there's kind of world items, and then you could fuse them together with your powers. So if you want to make like a boat, you take logs and you fuse them together, and then you put a sail and you fuse the sail on there, and it's kind of neat. But I don't know. The thing is, like, I made a boat and then you know, I ran 40 feet away or something, and I came back and the boat was gone. So I don't. Again, I'm not very far in the game yet, guys, so I can't say for sure. But I see people on Instagram and shit like that making pretty intricate vehicles, and I'm wondering, like, does it get to the point where you can make crazy vehicles and then you get to keep that vehicle, or is it like my little boat that I made where if I move out of the loading zone too far, it's just gonna disappear, despawn? Because like some of those things that guys make, they're pretty intricate, like big airships and stuff like that. So I thought the whole idea was to make something and then that's like your mount. That's your new, your horse or whatever, what have you. But I yeah, I'm not sure. Again, I'm not very far in the game. But it kind of disappoints me in a way that I'm not drawn in the way I was with the old Zelda games. Even like the last Zelda game that I can remember playing the shit out of was A Link Between Worlds. I loved that game. That game was it's just so good. And it had a goofy gimmick too where you could turn into a painting and merge into the wall and we do weird stuff like that. And when I first played that, I thought this is kind of goofy. But then I ended up loving it. I love the way that they incorporated the painting link and how you would move around the map. It was actually like very intuitive, and I'm like, okay, this is actually pretty cool. But I don't know what it is, guys. I feel bad about it, but it's like I think my buddy Justin said it the best about how he said like the first Breath of the Wild, it was a big map, but it just felt empty. And I feel a lot of that with this game too. There seems to be a lot more world bosses and stuff like that. Again, not very far in the game. I'm sorry. If this game gets to be a 10 out of 10, a couple hours in, okay, I'll retract my statement when I'm further and not addicted to Stardew Valley. But that's the thing, like when a new game comes out, if I play it, usually I'm addicted to it. Usually I can't stop playing it. Usually I just love it. That's like you can't stop thinking about it because it's fun. But like I am not getting that with Tears of the Kingdom. I don't know why. I don't know why. But I will say, like, I just there's a lot of things that are weird to me, like they brought back the Korok seeds again. Like, how fucking boring is that? And like, is there going to be 900 Korok seeds again? I'm not looking up spoilers or anything because I want to fucking experience the game, not watch a review of it. I want to play it myself. But like, it's just like, are they just like? It's the same map. Yes, they've changed things up, and yes, they got the above and they got the below. I get it, but like, it's the same generic map for the mainland, and then a lot of the enemies are the same enemies. I've noticed there's some new enemies for sure, but like, a lot of the old enemies have been recycled, and then I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. And hopefully I get more hours into it and I start to see the light and I see that's a better game. But I just like it disappoints me that I'm not excited to play it. Like and any of you guys that are gamers, you'll know what I'm talking about. Like when you get a new game, you want to play it, especially if it's really fun. But like, I don't know. Yeah, I'm a little worried, but either way, I will be playing more of it in the near future and I will let you guys know. And I'm also going to see maybe in the future. I'm going to see. I'm not going to make any promises, but I'm going to see if I can make it work. Because I do have an Elgato HD60. I don't know where it is though. It's somewhere. I know I have it, but I don't know where it is. It is somewhere. It's got to be somewhere. But I was thinking of streaming some Switch games. Maybe I'll stream some Zelda at some point. I just gotta. It's hard to do because I would have to. Because I'll stream from my computer, but I'd have to plug the Elgato into my computer, and my Switch is in my TV, which is in my room. But then I guess I'd have to do like a zoomed out. My webcam would just have to shoot me sitting on the end of my bed or sitting out here, and then I don't know. I'd have to figure out how I'd do it with the webcam setup because it'd be kind of awkward. But I would like to do it because I would really like to stream like Mega Man 11 and a couple other games. It'd be really fun because there are a few bangers on the Switch, but it can be rough to stream things when they're not on PC, just because of the external inputs and all that shit. But I digress. My point is, I hope Tears of the Kingdom gets better. I do, and I in the meantime, I'm just like I am actually addicted to like Stardew. Like Stardew Valley is a game that I did not give enough credit to. I played it for about 3 or 4 hours originally, and then I just quit. I don't know why. And then like one day I saw a video on it or something, and I'm like, you know what? I never gave that game a fair shake, and I'm like, I should play it. And then I loaded it up and I kind of followed some tips that people were saying and blah blah blah. And then I'm like, okay, excuse me, fucking coughing here. And I'm like, oh, I'll give it another shot. And then I loaded it up and I got addicted. Guys, I've been playing it for like a week or a week and a half, I guess. Maybe 2 weeks. And I think I've got 40 hours into my farm. And I feel disgusting. But it's so addicting because every night you go to sleep in the game and every day there's something new. They just keep you going. No. Oh, excuse me. See, with the new mic, you guys should probably be able to hear my burps in HD. But yeah, other than that, there hasn't been much going on. I'm sorry, guys. It's kind of a lighter episode. I didn't really have a whole lot to talk about. I was ill prepared because I've been running around and work's been crazy and everything else has been crazy. But hopefully next week I'll have more for you guys, and I might even, like I said, I might have some guests. I might have some guests coming on in the future. I do want to reach out to some people, and maybe some bigger YouTubers. Not like big. Don't get too excited. Jacksepticeye guy isn't going to be on here, but there's a couple guys I want, like Speedy Deep and some other speedrun people, because I love speedrunning, and I could talk hours about speedrunning to people. It's literally one of my favorite like niche hobbies. I wish more people were into it because it's fun. But either way, I'm gonna wrap this one up here. I need to get some bed rest, and I first I need to cut and edit this and post it because it's Thursday already. I'm recording on Thursday, the 25th, and then the end of next weekend, I'll be going on a disc golf trip with some friends. That should be a good time. We're going to be hitting up a bunch of courses across Alberta and north to south, and stay at some hotels. Maybe invite some pretty girls in. Who knows? You never know. With the Code Man coming around, and once I start telling them, yeah, the podcast, Not Rich, Just Bored. Yeah, that's mine. I'm the creator. Yeah. What's it? Oh, you never heard of it? Oh, well, fuck you, bitch. I'm just kidding, guys. Don't call girls bitches. It's not cool. It's not copacetic. All right, they're women. They're powerful, and in some cases these days they're men, but they're women. I don't know, guys. I'm losing control. Before I get off the rails here, I'm just gonna say thank you guys so much for watching. I hope I hope I didn't butcher the audio quality. I hope it's better. This new mic, I like it. I like the setup. I like how it's kind of close to my face. It's got the boom arm. I really like that. It's going to be interesting to see what happens when I play actual games, like when I'm streaming with it, because it gets pretty like the. I always kind of avoided boom arms because it kind of like they intrude on your space on your keyboard and stuff. But the way this one bends, it's not too bad. So I think it'll be good. And I still have to, I know I've said this for a while, but I still have to play the new Boom Man update with Kyle, you know, whenever he's free. Hopefully I'll play it with a bunch of people. And I'd like to get Sass Kyle back on the pod too, because he's done his schooling for the year. So he's actually, he's got a lot more time on his hands now. So we'll see what happens. But again, sorry, I'm going on a rant here. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. I do appreciate it, and I hope this mic upgrade and everything, and the future. Like I said, I might be adding webcams soon, and I'm just trying to make it higher quality for you guys, so it's a more easy and enjoyable listening experience. I'm sure that's not the case this week when you're listening to Darth Vader here with my fucking sickness, and I'm like. I literally can't breathe out of my. There we go. That's my. That's it. That's me breathing out of my nose. It's like, "Argh!" But yeah, I hate it. It's fucking worst. And I don't know why. I don't know what's going on this year, but I've literally been more sick this year than I've been healthy. I swear to God. And they're not bad sicknesses. Like, I'm not like hospitalized or like taking time off work. It's just literally like it'll be a stuffed nose. And no, it's not allergies. Because it's like unless you could just unless you just contract allergies, it's definitely not allergies because it's never been the case before. I'm telling you, it's the COVID-19 shot. All right, the COVID-19 shot has actually infected my blood. I'm now more susceptible to every other disease. I don't know why I turned into Ron White there, but I did. Either way, I'm gonna stop rambling. Thank you guys so much for watching. Links to all social media are in the description below, and I will see you next week. Bye, guys.